Hi guys, it's Ayana Black. Today's tutorial is going to focus on adding ad images to your sidebar without using a plugin. So typically on websites you'll see four little advertising boxes, and you may not typically know how to align them correctly so that they aren't stacked on top of each other. So today I'm going to show you how to do that without using a plugin. We're going to use a little bit of HTML to do this. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to log into our WordPress website, go to our dashboard, go to appearances, widgets, and you'll end up on this page here. So we want to drag our text box over to our widget area. Okay, and it's just going to open up this little box like that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and insert our table code. Okay. And if you think about code, it's really simple if you think about it in a visual way. So we're going to lay out a table, and I want to have two rows, and I want to have pieces of data in each row. So I want to have two boxes on each row. All right, so let's go ahead and lay it out. So the first piece of code I'm going to write is table. Next, I want to write my table row. Then I want to do my table data. For every opening piece of code, you want to have an ending piece of code. Okay, so let's close up this first piece of table data, and let's add a new one because, of course, like we said, we want to have two boxes on each row. Okay, so I finished those two pieces of data. Now let's close up the row. Okay, so we said we want to have two rows, so we'll just copy this little area. So we'll have two rows, and we'll just paste it here. And so now we can close the table up. Okay. So the next thing we want to think about is we want to think about the spacing between our boxes. If we were just to leave it this way, our boxes would be right next to each other. Okay. So let's add a little more coding here. So next to every piece of table data, we want to add a little bit of spacing to the right. And we'll add about 10 pixels, which means about 10 blocks of space. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll type in style equals quotation, and we want to give it a little bit of padding. So we'll say padding hyphen right. We'll do a colon, give it about 10 pixels, and then we'll close that up. Okay. So let's just copy this, and we're going to add it to every TD that we see, every opening TD. And this will be an opening TD. Okay, so let's just add that to each TD. Okay, so that's going to give us our spacing between our boxes. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to add our images that we want to display on our sidebar. If you don't know how to do this, you can go ahead and visit my blog. I've written a post about it, so you can go to ablackwebdesign.com/blog, and you can click on the first post here that says adding an ad graphic to your WordPress website. Go ahead and look at that video really quickly. It's going to show you how to do it. Of course, I've already added my image, and I've done the tutorial prior to posting the video. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm just going to grab the code for my image. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm just going to paste it right between the opening and closing TD tag. Okay, I'm just going to paste it there, paste it here, paste it here. Oh, I missed one. Okay, and paste it here. Okay, so now I'm going to save that. And before I save it, well, it's already saved. I'm just going to give it a title, and I'm going to say advertise here. Okay, so I'm going to save it, and then we can just go to the front of our site and just check it out, make sure it looks proper. Okay, so here it is. We have those four boxes. It's in our sidebar. They're spaced out nicely. So that's great. They're here. So the next thing we want to do is when we advertise for people, of course, we want to be able to click off to those advertising spaces. Okay, to those websites. So let's just go back to the back end. And now the only thing we're going to do is we just need to add a little piece of code here. So we're going to go right before the image tag, place our cursor there. We're going to type in the code as follows. Just that, href equals quotation, HTTP. Now just put your website, and of course this will be whatever the website it is that it needs to go to. We're going to close that up. And a good rule of thumb is always have that advertising open in a new window. You always want to keep people on your website for whatever reason. If they go to a different website, they close that window out, the next window that's going to be open is yours. So you always want to keep that option there. Okay, so we want to do that with target equals quotation underscore blank. Okay, and so we have that added. And so at the end of our image tag, we just want to close it up like that. Okay, so let's save that. Okay, go to the front end. Okay, and so this first image, this first box should be linked to something, and you know it's linked because you see the cursor has changed. So go here, it's different. So if I click on that, it's going to go to yourwebsite.com. Okay, so that is our tutorial on adding ad boxes to your sidebar. If you have any questions, feel free to go to our website, abblackwebdesign.com, and fill out the contact button with the contact form with any questions. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.